Good morning, YouTube. Well, we have another CNC update, and it's pretty interesting.
So are you recording all of the nefarious activities?
If you're new to the channel, my name is Dan, this is my garage, and over there is Adam.
You should buy some lights. If you guys were waiting to buy lights, all the lights that were on back order since like
Finally
October.
arrived, yeah.
Yeah.
We literally ordered these in November. They just started coming
That's
in.
all lights right there. There's lights over there that you guys can't see. And
Yeah.
then there's 8 more on the way. So use NGS 10, get 10%
Yeah.
off
Yeah.
if you were wanting the lights.
So if you need some of these, go to our website, normalguysupercar.com, get some of the hexagon lights. We need to get rid of them. They're taking over my garage. So anyway, we need to talk about CNC motors because it's crazy. Yeah, crazy stuff. Please like, share, and subscribe real quick. But let's get right into it. Yeah. All right, YouTube. So if you didn't know, court stuff, like court cases, whatever. Anyway, it's open to the public. So like when there's a court hearing,
You can go to the
trial,
courthouse.
you can go there. You can
Yeah.
just go in. Anyone's allowed to go in, except for like, there's some restrictions and whatever. But generally speaking, all things that happen in the court are required by law to be open to the public. So during COVID, because courts don't want people in the court, they've made it so it's accessible online.
Yeah.
Or on telephonic or whatever. So basically they have to make it so somehow the public can participate. As it turns out, Clay's bankruptcy hearings were telephonic, so you could call in. So we called in.
He called in.
I
I showed up halfway through and I didn't even know it was
I
happening.
didn't listen to. I missed the beginning, but we caught a decent amount of it, and it's
interesting.
yeah. First of all, it's very fascinating to hear the lawyers and the judge and whatever them talking about stuff, and then of course just finding some of the details. You're like, of course. So a few things to point out. One is it sounded more like a criminal thing than a bankruptcy thing. Like there was a lot of accusations made that were like,
Which I'm surprised they allowed that.
well, the way it works is they're allowing the creditors to say whatever they want.
Yeah, no, but
And so a lot of the creditors took that as opportunity to ask questions that almost to me sounded like, again, this is my opinion, it's not really relevant to the direct thing that they're talking about. It's like, oh, you're trying to, anyway, that's what it sounded like. So what happened is a lot of the time Clay would plead the Fifth Amendment, which is strange because it's like, it's a bankruptcy hearing. Like to me, there shouldn't be that much going on where you need to plead the Fifth, but he pleaded the Fifth a lot. I mean, like as soon as the question was asked, you knew what was going to happen because they'd be like, oh, what happened to this money? And Austin, it'd be a long pause, you know.
probably him talking to his lawyer.
Right, and so it'd be a long pause, and all of a sudden, either he or his lawyer would step in. Sometimes his lawyer would step in and say, like, I am requesting that my client use his Fifth Amendment rights, and then all of a sudden Clay would be like, I'm, using my Fifth Amendment rights or whatever, stuff like that. And it was just like, okay, of course, right? But like every once in a while, like they would just drag on in like simple questions that like they have the answer right there. They're just debating whether
They're
or not.
trying to make it dramatic.
No, they're trying to make sure. They're trying to like be like calculating. Like, should we discuss this? Probably
I think they're
not.
going for drama. They're trying to hook us up,
Right.
make our jobs easier.
So there's a few things that were brought up that were fascinating and new information to us.
Luggage.
First one is the luggage. The missing luggage. Well, we know where the missing luggage is now. Apparently, one of the creditors was given a large amount of luggage as collateral for a personal loan.
We don't know what kind of luggage it was. Could have been Samsonite.
Samsonite. I was way off.
Could have been. I mean, it was supposedly valued pretty highly, and it was quite a large collection according to what they're discussing.
After Dumb and Dumber, Samsonite.
I mean, yeah, right? It
It just took off. Everybody wanted to be part of that.
So that creditor, apparently the personal loan probably got defaulted on, and so that creditor, still assuming, I'm assuming they have that luggage in their possession.
What do you think his code was on the luggage? 1, 2, 3, 4?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's the same combination I have on my luggage.
That's the stupidest combination I ever heard in my life! That's the kind of thing an idiot would have on his luggage!
It's always 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
That's kind of an idiot would put on his luggage.
Love that. That's where it is apparently right now. Another tidbit of interesting stuff was, if you remember when he did the interview with me, he specifically, and I didn't even prod this, he brought up, people are saying I have a big Rolex collection, and I don't have a Rolex collection, and I don't even own a watch.
Like, there's people out there saying, oh, you have a $500,000 or $1 million Rolex collection. I don't own a watch. I literally don't own a watch.
Well, apparently, there was a very large Rolex collection valued over $1 million that was used as collateral for a personal loan.
Whoopsie.
He, I guess, technically was right in saying I don't own any watch right now because it was collateral. It was so
He's playing on the technicalities.
right. So yeah, there is a Rolex collection that was in Clay's possession at some point. It is no longer in his possession. It is in the possession of one of his creditors. According to the things that were being discussed, it was valued over $1 million.
It's a lot of watches.
That's a lot of Rolexes. Or it's like one really, really awesome Rolex.
I don't know much about Rolexes,
I don't know
though.
anything about watches. Again, personal collateralized loan, and it was defaulted. So
Yeah.
another one that also resulted in a lot of Fifth Amendment stuff being used was Bitcoin. So it was brought up that Clay had done investing in Bitcoin. The weird thing was they were discussing when he was starting to invest in Bitcoin, and he acknowledged that was sometime after 2015, but then pleaded the fifth once they started talking about dates that were closer to current. So again, why they would do that, I don't know. But that was really interesting that as it got, like, there was a lot of things that, they discussed the sale of the building and where those proceeds went. Again, pleaded the fifth. They discussed that company and other companies that he's invested in. They discussed the transfer of ownership of the building and the company. It previously was owned by Clay's father. His brother had a stake in it, and of course he had a stake in it. And then somehow 66% of the company was transferred to Clay, but then there was, from what he said, there was no compensation for it, which was like, what? That was very weird. Like, to me, I was like, what? Like, who relinquishes 66% of a business that's doing well for nothing?
Appears to be doing well.
Well, at the time. This was years ago that was transferred.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Anyway, there was weird stuff going on. It's hard if you're not a lawyer to understand what they're talking about sometimes, because I'm like, I don't know what's going on right now. And so they have another hearing, which it's in April sometime. So we'll try and get on that phone call again if we remember. I mean, honestly, it's not that high of a priority. Actually, we've got to give a huge shout out to the Instagram account, Clay Tom Scammer. Go check out his Instagram.
That's the name of the Instagram account. We're
yes.
not alleging anything.
Go on Instagram, type in Clay Tom Scammer, and get his Instagram account.
Yeah.
He's the one who reminded us this was going on, and I still have some people feeding me information. There's other stuff going on that people keep telling me about, but again, everyone's like, oh, you can't use my name. So then well, I can't talk about it then. If you have information you want us to talk about it, you need to either go on record and let us use your name, or you have to give us a source or something, because I can't just broadcast hearsay and stupid stuff. So we're not going to do that. It's not worth our time. That's kind of the update. So it's not crazy. I mean, so far it's kind of what you'd expect, I guess. No big shocker to anyone who's been paying attention to the situation.
Yeah.
It's kind of unfortunate. It's still just ugly. Very ugly. Oh, and the call was many hours long. It went on for many hours, and it was basically just creditors beating him up, asking questions about where the money went and all this stuff. It's just crazy. Anyway, there you go. All right, YouTube. Well, I wish we had better stuff to talk about, but just giving you the news, I guess, giving you updates on this stuff. Not our favorite thing to do, but people want to know, so we're just kind of keeping you informed.
We're men of the people.
We're I guess. Yeah, go buy some lights from us, please. Go to normalguysupercar.com. Please get these out of my garage. I need them gone. Use the code NGS10. You can take off 10% off of any of those light kits. They'll ship out very quickly. They're obviously in stock.
Very much in stock.
And the best part is we have another shipment that's on its way. So we're just...
8 more.
Yeah. Like, share, and subscribe, but that's going to do it for now. If you guys want to see more cool car stuff, definitely want to stay tuned, because...
It will be sweet. I don't have any clever...
It won't
things
be
lined up.
bankrupt.
That's hope not.
Yeah.